Lesson 237. Hope through suffering. Have you ever found yourself asking, why am I going through this pain? Suffering can feel like a thief, stealing your joy, clarity, and hope. Yet, what if suffering is more than just pain? What if it's an invitation to experience God's presence in ways you've never imagined? Today, we'll uncover how embracing suffering with the right mindset can transform it into a source of hope and spiritual growth. Let's dive into the wisdom that will guide you through life's most challenging moments. It's easy to see suffering as loss, a detour that keeps you from the life you envision. In those moments, the future often seems blurry and the pain feels overwhelming. But here's the truth. Suffering is an opportunity for your devotion to God to reach its highest expression. It is that element in life that you cannot simply overlook or judge it as a misfortune. If you approach suffering with the wrong attitude, you risk missing the chance for transformation and becoming stuck in a loop of mediocrity. The reality is that a world without suffering doesn't exist. However, wisdom invites you to see beyond the immediate pain. It challenges you to view suffering not as a punishment, but as a refining fire that purifies your character. This perspective helps you align your focus with God's purpose for your life. Paul had great revelations from God, and he acquired supernatural encounter with God that enabled him to preach through the gospel to many through the troubled times with persecution, rejection, and struggles, healing many souls for Christ. It could be easy for him to boast about it, yet God wanted him to remain humble and not overlook through the great responsibility he has been entrusted with at hand. In 2 Corinthians 12:7-9, Paul says, "Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.'" It might be a little bit disturbing to understand why a God who is merciful allows such pain and suffering to you. But just like Paul, it is the pain that will keep your heart remaining faithful to him. It is almost when you have a friend or a life coach who pushes you through uncomfortable limits. It is never intended to harm you, rather to make you better. It is a similar pain that will help you remain humble, trusting in God, and keep having the unwavering devotion to him. Even Solomon, who was the wisest person who ever lived, knew this and said in Proverbs 30:9, asking God to give him his daily bread. "Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, 'Who is the Lord?' Or I may become poor and steal, and so dishonor the name of my God." In order for this to work for you, you must set your mind in a right attitude. If all you see is doom and gloom in your situation, it is difficult for God to reveal himself to you and give you victory. Then Paul continues saying, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." This shows the right attitude in your situation that you will face by not taking glory to yourself, acknowledging God, and remaining humble. There are 3 things that can help you endure with the suffering you are going through in order to gain victory in purity and cleanness. First, ask God for help. He says you do not get because you do not ask. Gaining God's audience doesn't always require a long form of prayer time to be heard. Rather, a simple word of "Please God, help me on this situation" could move mountains. It doesn't matter if you are driving, walking, or working. God is right there where you are, and he hears you. And then keep on living the life that demonstrates you are in need of him, and never take this great freedom for granted. Secondly, develop a heart of giving. Sometimes what you want is what God requires you to give. He says, "Do to others what you would like them to do to you, and with the same measure that you give, it will be measured to you." Our good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. It is easy to give out the worst to others because you are going through trouble. But how much more powerful will it be if you be a blessing to others while going through trouble? It builds a strong and unwavering character that provides you with peace beyond understanding. Lastly, take it easy and forgive yourself. What will happen to you is not something unique and specifically targeted to you. The world could bring to you unfair moments, and that's how it is. This is why Jesus is saying, "In this world you have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." It is only when you get to heaven, this suffering you experience will no longer exist, and there will be no more tears. The moment of suffering you are going through it is not the end to itself. Rather, take it as an opportunity to continue to form a deeper connection with God. Even though it might take the joy you have at the specific moment, understand that it is only temporary. Through suffering, it is where you learn surrender. For it is at this moment you will be tested on things that you treasure the most. Always remember, it is at this moment you are required to let go and let God help you through. Holding on to it so much will lead to bitterness and regret, often ending up to mess things in the end. You may get the results you want, but it may not be what you ultimately need, neither brings joy to your life. It could be something you earn on expense of your soul. For what will profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet lose your soul? Suffering is a mystery, but it's also a gift. It's the place where God's power meets your weakness, where His grace meets your shortcomings, and where your character is refined by the Maker. Don't let your trials break you. Let them refine you. Stay humble, stay focused, and remember that God is with you every step of the way. Therefore, remember that out of suffering comes perseverance, and through perseverance, character, and through character, hope.